Fortnite is hiding something, and if you look deep enough, things get suspicious. Some of these unsolved mysteries are years in the making, and they foreshadow the next season, collabs, and a live event that'll blow you away. The one that is closest to being solved centers around Season 3's nitro-fueled villain. Literally the first day, players notice Megalodon and his massive resemblance to the storyline character Gunnar. Yes, we're taking a trip back in time to Chapter 3, not just because they look alike, but I mean, come on, it's not hard to see. They got the exact same haircut, build, the armor, but this shouldn't be possible. Gunnar was killed off in the Fortnite story when Dr. Doom annihilated him with a cannon. So why is this happening? Well, it all has to do with Megalodon's desperate need for nitro, and it explains a lot. What if this is secretly Gunnar, with nitro keeping him alive as the mask is hiding his wounds? There's a lot of credibility to this mystery. If you think about it, what weapon did Gunnar use in Chapter 3? And the final piece of evidence is what's making this so believable. Let's take a look at the bridge on Megalodon's ship, more specifically, its controls. These are reused screens from the Ios Fortress in Chapter 3, the same organization Gunnar worked for. Could everything here just be a coincidence, or is Fortnite building up something bigger? I think it is, especially with Unsolved Mystery number 2. At the start of Season 3, the island was updated, and while players are focused on the new wasteland, there was something hiding in the mountains that I've been talking a lot about. Whatever is banging on this door is trying to break free from the bunker, and we have multiple suspects of who it could be. The first is also the most interesting, and he's only a couple weeks away from dropping on the island. Magneto is our secret outfit who is also tied to the storyline like many Marvel skins before him. Doctor Strange helped us during the 7-IO war, Tony Stark destroyed Galactus, and Wolverine got a little carried away, but aside from that, they are pretty important. There is something about his outfit that has players talking, something Epic intentionally did to fit the story. Going out of their way to redesign him fitting the season theme is clue number 1. This means he is clearly important to what's going on in Season 3, and the bunker might have something to do with clue number 2. As we approach the end of the Wasteland and the transition into our final season, we know Marvel is going to take over. We're getting part 2 of the Marvel Battle Pass, and Magneto is here to make that happen. He is famously someone who falls in the gray area of hero or villain, and while he might help us defeat Megalodon and save the island, that's never really the case. 9 times out of 10, they take power for themselves, and that could be the answer to Unsolved Mystery number 3. When Marvel does come to Fortnite next season, it would make sense the X-Men would headline the Battle Pass, but not everyone is sold on that. It's been known for a while that Dr. Doom will return, and now our first look at a mythic changes everything. It's codenamed the Illusory Walls, and if you look at the capital letters, this spells out IW, the same initials belonging to Fantastic Four's Invisible Woman. Not only that, but the idea of an illusory wall fits perfectly with their powers to turn invisible and create force fields. So, while the bunker might be used for Magneto or his future objectives, it could also belong to another massive crossover. Right now, we have Fallout cosmetics, weapons, and consumables, but no POI. It's a game that is known for one thing, vaults, and either Fortnite just missed the biggest opportunity of all time, or it is hiding in plain sight. Some fans believe this bunker is related to Fallout, and this could be the answer for a second wave of outfits in the summer. After all, if we get Vault Dweller skins, they need a vault to break out of. And so the theories in this video are going to get progressively more insane as we try to solve a mystery that began in 2020. Season 3's most underrated Battle Pass character is an engineer known as the Machinist. She's drawn a lot of comparison over the past few weeks to people like Jules, mostly because they're skilled engineers. Except one Reddit theory actually caught my attention. Let's take a close look at the Machinist and TNTina. When you compare the two, they have very similar faces, especially the hair and eyes, but it goes beyond that. Both of them run an entire location that happened to be a rig. At TNTina's place, you can find gas tanks, while the Machinist's redline rig is full of nitro canisters. Not to mention, they also share a red and black color scheme. Are these two characters related? We're not saying this is true, and neither is the creator of the theory, but I just had to share it because it ties to the most important unsolved mystery in this video, number 6. Fortnite has been teasing this in the shadows since the start of Chapter 5, and finally we are getting somewhere. This season, players are picking up on this cloaked figure all over the map. The graffiti has been constantly appearing, and it's easy to write off until you look in the Battle Pass. We can't seem to escape this person. Even Megalodon's loading screen shows them hiding in the background. Their official name has been discovered by data miners, revealing the Wanderer. We're not sure if they're an ally or a villain, but the fact they're riding with Megalodon's army of marauders, it's not a good sign. I said Fortnite has been secretly teasing teasing the Wanderer the whole chapter, and that started in the early versions of Pandora's Box. If you check out the concept art, the same cloak figure is seen here. They were meant to appear seasons ago, but then were deleted and replaced with 4 Greek gods. That season, there was another teaser, and this is what's foreshadowing the live event. When we followed the prophecy of the Oracle, there was one questline that explains what'll happen in the future.
Your war has not yet begun. Storm clouds gather. The Wanderer draws near. Even in the darkness, hope will guide you.
You see, Zeus wasn't exactly the big bad guy this chapter. The Wanderer might secretly be the true villain of chapter 5. Now, Fortnite isn't done with the underworld just yet, and they're telling us the next step of this unsolved mystery is coming soon. In Hades' biome, he instructed Cerberus to stay behind. Apparently, the gods have gone to find new domains, and Cerberus is waiting here for her arrival. There's a queen who will arrive on the sweet summer wind, and the dots are starting to connect. Hades' wife, the queen of the underworld, is Persephone, and thanks to Epic's official surveys, here is our first look. According to Cerberus, she's taking a vacation and needs a rest, so pairing this with the summer wind, you could probably guess when she's dropping. The question is, will Persephone bring something with her? Is Hades returning too, and how will this fit into the storyline? I know it all seems a bit random until you turn to Hope, who has answers for everything. So the Oracle already mentioned her as someone who will guide us in the fight against the Wanderer, and that's probably because she's the only person who knows where Pandora's box is. In her room, you can find a piece of the chest which seems to have 4 slots. This is already being used in Season 3 story quests as it becomes the most important artifact of Chapter 5. It started the storyline, and now it'll be crucial to what happens next. But why is Hope so important to this prophecy? She's clearly very acquainted with the characters we know and love, recruiting Agent Jones to the underground and working with Sloane. You could find her sprayed on Hope's walls, so what's the connection here? Well, there's the fact that her name is literally Hope, a pretty important way to name someone. Her set is full of teases directly from Epic too, as they claim she will change the world, know someone from her former life, and if that wasn't obvious enough, her emote is called I'm a Mystery. I'm not joking, they tease us for not knowing her. So all we know is that Hope is sisters with Valeria, the leader of the society. Could she also have superpowers like Valeria does? If so, what's so important about this family? These are all unsolved mysteries that'll probably be answered at the same time as number 9. What if Pandora's box unleashed more than the Greek gods? One of the strangest parts of this chest was the mysterious orb full of orange liquid. I don't know if you remember, but this actually filled over the course of last season before unleashing its giant power and creating the wasteland. So that leads me to one of the coolest theories. What if this massive burst of godly energy created more than just the desert? What if the orange power we saw in the orb created nitro? Think about it, the power could have been embedded into the sand, ready for characters like the machinist to dig it up. It wouldn't explain how Megalodon already knows about it and powers his ship, but when you think about it, he's also run out of nitro and needs to refine more. Maybe they ran out because it's only found on the island. You would need someone already living here to know this, someone I haven't talked about in 2 years. Chaos Agent. He hasn't been heard from since chapter 3, and yet he's thrown around by Megalodon like a regular henchman. It's a massive fall from grace when this guy was a huge mad scientist who dominated the storyline. The only reason why a scientist would be needed on the map right now is finding ways to create weapons. I'm leaning on that Chaos Agent is able to help with the development of nitro. The machinist refines it while Chaos perfects it for Don's suit, or something like that. Either way, it's a strange turn in his story. We knew him as someone who experimented with Slurp, worked with Midas in the early days, and fought in the 7IO war. He's been secretly with us the whole time, and now to be pushed around like he doesn't matter, it's gotta hurt. It's all weird because he's from a different era of the storyline when the 7 were the main characters, and after so long of not hearing from them, the final unsolved mystery might be their first reference since they disappeared. If you talk to Underground Jones in Season 3, he'll tell you that he's the strong and silent type. Easy to gloss this over unless you've been studying the storyline from the very early days. This is when the Visitor was an NPC on the map, and if you checked his collection book, the description claimed he was, you guessed it, the strong and silent type. It's been a long-running theory for years that the Visitor and Jones are secretly snapshots of each other. Are Fortnite finally acknowledging this, or trolling storyline fans? Maybe it's a coincidence, but is anything really? It's been Tommy, keep it here on Top 5 Gaming.